Before capes and comic books, the world's first superheroes came from ancient myths and legends. Hercules, for example, was the original strongman, facing impossible tasks, donning his lion skin and battling monsters. Thor, the Norse god of thunder, wielded a magical hammer and protected humanity with thunderous flair. These mythic heroes had superhuman abilities, iconic looks, and destinies that set them apart. But they weren't perfect. Achilles had his heel, and every hero had a flaw that made them relatable. Their stories showed us the appeal of someone who could tackle problems beyond ordinary people. These ancient champions laid the foundation for the superhero concept. Extraordinary individuals standing up for what's right. The costumes and settings have changed, but the core idea remains. We've always been drawn to tales of heroes who rise above, flaws and all. From ancient Greece to Norse legends, these were the first drafts of the superheroes we know today. Fast forward to the early 20th century, pulp fiction magazines brought heroes down to earth, making them relatable to everyday readers. These magazines, printed on cheap wood pulp paper, were affordable and accessible, sparking the imaginations of millions across America. Zorro, with his mask and signature Z, fought for justice in Spanish California, Batman with a sword, if you will. He was a champion for the oppressed, using wit and agility to outsmart his enemies, and inspiring hope in those who had none. The Shadow, a mysterious avenger, used fear and cunning instead of superpowers. His chilling laugh and mastery of disguise made him a legend, striking terror into the hearts of criminals everywhere. These pulp heroes had secret identities, cool costumes, and a mission to fight evil, no divine parentage required. They were ordinary people who chose to stand up against injustice, often at great personal risk. Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze, was a scientist and adventurer, perfecting himself to battle crime. He combined brains and brawn, leading a team of specialists on daring missions around the globe. Pulp magazines were the testing ground for superhero tropes, secret lairs, gadgets, and a relentless pursuit of justice. Here the blueprint for the modern superhero was drawn, one thrilling story at a time. They proved you didn't need to be a god to be a hero, just exceptional at what you do. With courage, skill, and determination, anyone could rise to the challenge and make a difference. The pulp era bridged ancient myths and modern comics, setting the stage for superheroes to leap into pop culture. It was a creative crossroads, blending old legends with new ideas and bold storytelling. Audiences loved these flawed, determined heroes fighting for good in a chaotic world. Their struggles and triumphs resonated deeply, making them icons for generations to come. The superhero explosion was just around the corner, ready to transform the world of entertainment forever. In 1938, everything changed. The world was in the midst of uncertainty, and people were searching for something to believe in. That year saw the debut of Superman in Action Comics #1, a moment that would forever alter the landscape of popular culture. Created by two young visionaries, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, Superman was more than just a character. He was an alien from another world, blessed with godlike powers and driven by a mission to protect the oppressed and inspire hope. He became the first true superhero, blending mythic strength with a modern sense of justice, and setting a new standard for what a hero could be. Superman's instant popularity sparked a wave of new heroes. Batman, a brooding detective with no superpowers but a sharp mind and strong sense of justice, arrived soon after, captivating readers with his mysterious persona. The golden age of comics had begun. The Flash, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman soon joined the ranks, each bringing their own unique abilities, ideals, and stories to the growing world of superheroes. These larger-than-life heroes quickly became cultural icons, offering hope, inspiration, and a sense of escapism during tough times like the Great Depression, when people needed it most. Kids flocked to newsstands, eager for the latest adventures, stories where good triumphed over evil, and where anyone could dream of being a hero. Superheroes became more than just characters on a page. They became ideals, symbols of hope, justice, and the belief that anyone could make a difference. The Golden Age set the template for decades of storytelling, establishing the themes and archetypes that would define the genre. The superhero was here to stay, lighting up imaginations everywhere and inspiring generations to come. The lines between right and wrong were clear, and heroes always stood up for the little guy, reminding us of the power of courage and compassion. The age of superheroes had truly begun, and their legacy would shape the world of imagination forever. As World War II erupted, superheroes joined the fight, at least on comic book covers. Captain America's debut, punching Hitler, was a bold statement even before the US entered the war. Superheroes became symbols of hope and patriotism, battling Nazis and boosting morale on the home front. Comics encouraged kids to support the war effort, making heroes part of everyday life. The stakes in stories grew higher, with villains representing real-world threats. Captain America embodied the patriotic ideal, a regular kid transformed into a symbol of American resolve. After the war, superhero comics lost steam as public taste shifted. Many titles faded and the genre seemed to be in decline. The world had changed and so did the stories people wanted, but superheroes were only waiting for their next big moment. The golden age dimmed, but the legend endured. Superheroes made a spectacular comeback in the 1950s and 60s, led by DC Comics' bold reinvention of classic heroes. After a lull in popularity, DC breathed new life into the genre, reimagining their legendary characters for a new era of readers. The Flash and Green Lantern were given modern science fiction origins, and the Justice League united DC's icons into a powerful team, inspiring awe and excitement among fans. But Marvel Comics soon changed the game. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and Steve Ditko introduced a new kind of hero, flawed, relatable, and deeply human. The Fantastic Four bickered and clashed like a real family, showing that even heroes could have personal struggles and disagreements. Spider-Man was a teenager juggling homework, friendships, and heroics, making him instantly relatable to young readers who saw themselves in his shoes. Marvel's heroes faced real-world problems. The Hulk's uncontrollable rage and inner turmoil, the X-Men's struggle with prejudice and being outsiders, and Iron Man's guilt over his own inventions and personal demons. Marvel set its stories in real cities like New York, making the fantastic feel grounded and immediate, as if superheroes could be living just around the corner. The rivalry between DC's godlike icons and Marvel's flawed underdogs pushed both companies to innovate, sparking a creative arms race that would shape the industry for decades. This creative competition defined the Silver Age, making superheroes more complex, layered, and human than ever before. Readers connected with heroes who felt like neighbors, not distant legends, characters who faced the same challenges and emotions as everyday people. The industry thrived on this energy, laying the groundwork for today's character-driven stories. DC stood for tradition and myth, Marvel for revolution and realism. The battle for readers' hearts was on, and superheroes had never been more exciting, dynamic, or relevant to the world around them. The Silver Age was a true renaissance for the genre, setting the stage for the superhero stories we know and love today. By the 1970s, comics reflected a world in turmoil. Vietnam, social unrest, and cynicism shaped the stories. The Bronze Age brought darker themes and heroes with real problems. Green Lantern and Green Arrow tackled racism and poverty. Spider-Man confronted drug abuse. The anti-hero rose. The Punisher took justice to brutal extremes while Batman grew more obsessive and haunted. Even classic heroes became more complex and flawed. The X-Men, now outcasts, dealt with prejudice and internal conflict. Comics matured, exploring the gray areas of morality and the human psyche. The superhero genre proved it could evolve with the times. For years, superheroes were mostly confined to comics and campy TV shows. That changed in 1978 with Superman the movie, making audiences believe a man could fly. Tim Burton's Batman in 1989 showed superhero films could be dark, stylish, and blockbuster hits. The real boom came in the 2000s with X-Men and Spider-Man, combining faithful adaptations with cutting-edge effects. Marvel Studios revolutionized the genre in 2008 with Iron Man, launching the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The MCU's interconnected films turned superheroes into a global phenomenon. Today, superheroes dominate movies, TV, games, and pop culture. They inspire, entertain, and reflect our hopes and fears. From ancient myths to modern blockbusters, superheroes have evolved with us. They are our modern mythology, timeless, adaptable, and endlessly inspiring. The journey from Hercules to the Avengers proves the power of a hero's story endures.